Hey y'all, it's Jasmine.
Gabby.
You're listening to The Golden Light, the story they took, where we honor those who lost to gun violence and give voice to the stories silence tried to erase.
Today's episode is called Breaking the Silence. This is the second episode of the series. We had Jasmine here with us again, who made the choice to speak out, not just for herself, but for others who still can't. This episode is going to explore the emotional weight of silence surrounding gun violence, especially among grieving families. It highlights the courage it takes to speak out, the resistance to doing so, and the healing that can come once the silence is broken. In communities across the country, silence after loss is often seen as a strength or as survival. But what happens when the silence becomes a burden?
Yes, we're back at it. I am Jasmine, and I am a mother who lost her son to gun violence. And here today, we're going to speak a little bit more on breaking the silence.
Okay, so why do you think so many families feel they have to stay silent after losing someone to gun violence?
Sometimes families fear, and we're speaking like this is reality. Sometimes families will fear that retaliation. They fear retaliation. They may feel as if they may put their families, loved ones at risk when it comes to speaking out, having a voice to help someone else.
Right. Understood. They might just fear that person's related to that person, now we're coming after the family. So
right.
They might feel like it's just safer for them to just remain silent.
Exactly. Right.
So were there moments when you felt pressured to stay quiet?
There were moments in the beginning when this first took place when I felt that I needed to be quiet. And that's because at that point, it had happened so fast. But as time progressed and moving forward, no, I didn't feel pressured. I knew that I had to be a voice to help someone else in this fact of the gun violence.
I got you. So what was your turning point in choosing to speak out?
The turning point came when I realized that silence was suffocating me. It was suffocating me more than speaking ever could. Yes, that was my turning point.
So do you see silence as a form of survival or something that holds us back?
Good question. I feel that silence could really be both. It could be both because you have some people that feel as if speaking out may cause retaliation or may just be afraid or just thinking about what the next person may say or how they may feel. But when it's put in you, when God placed that in you, my God, I thank you. When He places that in you, and you are able to have that ability to just speak on it, then you know that yes, it's survival. It's you have to speak out in order to help someone else survive throughout this process. So therefore, I feel like it could be both. It could go both ways.
Because you have some families who feel like that remaining silent is their way of being safe.
Right.
And not involving themselves or just trying to stay as far away as possible to save themselves from it. Because you just never know what may happen next. And that could be a different outcome or just overthinking it. Like, if I open my mouth, they might come after me.
Right.
So it's just best to stay silent. And that's their form of survival. So you think it hold us back when we stay silent?
Oh, yes. Definitely. It definitely holds us back because you're not speaking out. If we don't speak, then we can't help someone else who is going through this at this moment. If we stay silent, then we're not helping one another. And the way society is today, we don't have time to stay silent. This is our time to where we don't have time to waste. We have to speak up. It has to be done now.
Definitely. So what did it look like for you, like in the early stages of your grief? What did silence look like for you in the beginning?
Silence looked like for me in the early days of my grief was sitting in a room full of people but feeling completely alone. Waking up in the middle of the night, not to noise, but to stillness, because something is missing. Something was missing. Something is missing, Lord. Yeah. Or even hearing a song and not being able to listen to the songs that my son would love to hear. My God. Or even staring at the wall, the phone, or the door, waiting for something that won't come. Yeah, that's what silence looked like in my early days of grief.
Yeah, for some people, silence is peaceful, but this is a different type of silence. This silence is heavy.
Yes.
It's thick. It's like a thick cloud, and it just lingers.
Yes.
In the space around you, it lingers in your chest, it lingers in your throat, and it fills the room, which would typically be filled with laughter and happiness.
Yes.
But this silence is heavy, and it's a burden.
Oh, yes.
It's a burden. So when your silence becomes your burden, you got to break that silence.
Oh, yes.
You got to break that burden.
Yes.
So did you ever feel like breaking your silence would dishonor your son? Would it dishonor Jeremy?
No. Not at all. Not at all. It would not dishonor my son. No.
So what do you wish more people understood about the silence after their loss?
I wish more people would understand that being silent doesn't fix anything. People have to realize that the power that they have is in their voice. The power that we have is in our voice. So we can't be silent.
You know, life and death is in the power of your tongue, so you have to open your mouth, use your voice to speak back against it. It's not just speaking evil against it. You have to declare that this has ended. This is going to end. You have to declare it as though you see it.
Yes.
Not just breaking your silence, but that this is going to end.
Yes.
And that comes from using your voice. Because life and death is in the power of your tongue.
Right.
And you have to use it for positive things to
exactly.
speak back against this issue.
Exactly.
You have to speak back against this issue using your voice.
Right.
If Jeremy could hear you right now, what would you want him to know about your decision to speak out?
My God, Lord. If my son could only hear me just one more time. My God. Lord, I miss you, son. I would want my son, Jeremy, to know that I'm going to keep his spirit alive. Yeah, I'm going to keep his spirit alive. He did that for others while he was here. He would walk in the room, and the room would just light up. He had a spirit that everyone loved. Every time you see him, he just have a big smile on his face. So that's the reason. That's something that I would want to tell him, that I have to keep his spirit alive. I have to speak up. That goes that he was the golden child. Mm-hmm. He was my golden child. So that just goes back to reflect of the podcast and the remembrance of the golden light, the story they took from me. Yeah.
And I will say too, from just knowing Jeremy, that his death was it was just physical. It wasn't spiritual, because his spirit lives on through this podcast, through you, and through everyone. He brought people together.
Yes.
And even through this podcast, he is still helping and healing. So he's still victorious. His spirit lives on. His victory, he obtained victory. Despite the way it looked, he obtained victory because he is still helping and he is still healing. And he did that while he was here, and he did that even when he departed.
Right.
His spirit lives on with us.
Yes.
Okay, how did people around you respond when you began to speak out?
People around me would encourage me. People around me would encourage me to get through this. And they would tell me day by day, hold on to God's unchanging hand. Jasmine, you're going to get through this. You have to be a testimony for someone else. So, family, friends, they would definitely encourage me. They would encourage me to keep going. You got to stay in the race. It's not going to be easy. But as long as you keep God first, my God, you keep him first. And he'll continue to order your steps. He will order your steps, sweetie. And he'll get you through this. He's going to build you up so strong to where you're going to be able to give your testimony and help not one, not two, but millions of people that are dealing with this today.
So what would you say to someone else? What words of encouragement do you have for someone else?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Use your voice to help someone else. Use your voice to help someone else. Even if you can't find the words right now at this present moment to put together. But just ask God. Just ask God to provide you with the right words to say. Ask God to allow you to have a voice. And oh my God, once he instilled that in you, sweetie, that voice will be so loud. It'll be so loud.
You won't be able to stop talking?
You won't be able to stop talking. You won't be able to stop talking. Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
God will order our steps and he will give us the words to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep
He'll
him
do
first.
it. Yes, ma'am. He is awesome. He's awesome.
I can attest to that.
So, with wrapping up my podcast of The Golden Light, episode 2, Breaking the Silence, I thank you all for listening. To all my guests, my listeners, family, friends, I thank you all for listening. I would like to invite all my listeners to subscribe, share, reach out with this story so we can all help someone else.
Yeah, so if anybody want to reach out to us to come onto the podcast, we are opening the doors for anyone who wants to come and share their story to be an assistance to another person, because one person's testimony is a help to another, because
exactly.
No one goes through anything by chance. Everything serves its purpose.
Right.
And you go through something, you grow through it. Amen. And God allow it to happen because he know you can get through it.
Amen.
So if you want to come on, reach out.
Yes.
We can set up a time. We can come on. You can share your story.
Yes. This has been The Golden Light, the story they took. Because silence should never be the only way we grieve. Thank you all for listening.
All right.